Hello, welcome to my channel. My name's Joe, where I help you make better coffee and give you honest reviews. Today, I have a very special review I think a lot of people have been waiting for a very long time. This is the Terra Kaffe TK02. I did get the privilege of going to their headquarters in New York and checking this out about 8 months ago or so, 9 months. And it impressed me then, and now that I actually have it in hands, being able to use it on a daily basis, I am ready to do a full review on it, and I'm very excited to get this rolling because it's been a very fun time using this. So as always, I always do my reviews, pros, cons, make a drink. Maybe we'll make a couple of drinks just to show you. We'll maybe move it a little bit faster than normal. And then I will give you my score, which I always do out of 10. So let's start off first with the pros. There's a lot of them. All right, so first up is the design. I think the design of this machine is very clean. It really leans into like very modern designs, so it can fit into some of the newer kitchens being built these days with nice clean lines and everything. They didn't add any metal points except for a few, like here on the front to move up and down the drip. And then you have a nice metal dial here for your froth. This is your level of froth. But I really like the way that they owned up to the plastic. They made it matte black. They made everything very clean, squared off. So generally I really like the design. Obviously, if you have like a very old style, kitchen or house, maybe this wouldn't fit in. You might be better off getting something more traditional if you're just going off of aesthetics. But I think this machine generally looks very nice. And to that point, I think a lot of the design on this in the user interface and everything is also very good. When you move this up and down, you have a metal touch point here. When you're changing your froth, you have a metal touch point, which is really nice. The coffee bin here, these are magnetic. So you just kind of slide it up and it clicks in. Same thing with the side doser here. If you want to dose your own coffee that you pre-ground somewhere else, maybe for decaf or something like that, that's right there. And I like that everything is right in the front. So minus the coffee, obviously, but everything else other than that, you can access right here. So here's your ground bin right here. You pop that out, real easy. Here's your water right there, super easy. You could pop it out just a little bit, fill it up, or you could take the whole thing out. And then your drip tray is right in front as well, and this pops out pretty easy. I will say the drip tray is very wide, so that's one thing to note. It's a little bit larger than your average one. It doesn't, like a lot of the other drip trays I've used, kind of thin out. This one is utilizing all the space on the bottom to let you not have to not have to drain it all the time. Let's get into the actual user interface on the screen. First off, really like it. Basically, anybody that wants to make a beverage here can just go up, tap what they want, and it'll just start making the coffee. Or your coffee beverage, I should say. You can customize all that. You can customize how the drinks are made, and I will make a customization video. I think I've already done that. I'll link it above. And you can kind of check out what I recommend for all these different settings. But overall, this is just a super smooth interface. It's actually relatively responsive. A lot of these machines I've used in the past are, they feel like they were made maybe 15 years ago. So this feels very modern. And then you do have, you could click on here and get onto your settings and all that stuff. It's super simple, very modern, very easy to use. And then on top of that, anytime something needs done on this machine, it's very good at letting you know. So if I pop this out, it says the waste bin door is open. If I pop it back, it'll say, did you empty the waste bin? Which is really nice because this is basically just going to tell you to empty the waste bin after a certain amount of shots have been pulled. So by doing this, it's just kind of always helping you along, making sure you don't screw up anything. And another thing is there's a how button on every single one of these notifications. So if your water needs replaced, if your bin needs emptied, you could hit this how, and it'll explain how to actually do that. Now, it might seem a little dumb for the average person that maybe you've been using this machine, you're never going to use that. But let's say you put this in an office, or you put this maybe in a boutique hotel or something like that. A lot of applications this machine could be used for, and just knowing that your customer that might walk up, or your employee that would walk up, would know how to do something by just tapping the how button is kind of useful, I think. So, or for first-time buyers. If you're interested in buying a Terra Kaffe TK01 or TK02, use the link in the description below. It does give you a discount, so definitely use that code. It helps me out and it helps you out. Thanks. Another pro, not only is it a clean design, but it actually does a pretty good job of making the area clean compared to a lot of other machines. This machine hooks up with a tube right here. You pop this in, and that goes right in there, and that's how you get all your steam. And you could use this carafe as well, but it doesn't splatter too much. Now, I'm sure if you change the setting here, you could probably get it to splatter, but if you are pretty good at getting the right froth level for yourself, you could probably minimize most milk explosions and stuff like that. It does a pretty good job of not shooting everywhere. The coffee doesn't spray everywhere. It's a very, very clean system, not to mention all of the self-cleaning it does by itself. So that's definitely a pro. All right, another pro is it does do software updates. So this does connect to Wi-Fi, obviously, for the app, but the machine itself actually can upgrade itself, which I got an upgrade while I've had this machine, even though I've only had it for like 2 weeks. So it's very cool that the machine itself can upgrade, can get better. You can actually, you could see a day where maybe a new drink comes out and they'll add it to the machine, or profiles for different coffees that they sell on the Terra Kaffe website or something like that. There's just endless possibilities when you can update the software right on the machine itself. So I really like that as well. Okay. I think this is my last pro, and it is the app. I'm going to kind of put this up on the screen here so you can see. But basically, there is a lot of very, very cool things you can do with this app. I generally like when there's an app. It just kind of gives a little bit more ways to interact with the machine, a little bit more customization. And for a lot of folks, it's really easy. Now, I will say on this machine, you can pretty much do everything from the screen, and it's actually a really nice screen. So this one actually didn't need the app as much, but it's still nice that you could do this, especially considering you could actually turn on and off the machine right from your phone. So maybe you wake up in the morning and you're like, hey, I want to make an espresso. You could turn your machine on, wait for it to heat up, and then you could actually, if you look here, I could hit the brew button. I can select a drink that I want and then hit brew. And then another awesome thing is, let's say you actually want to set it to always do that. There's actually a setting in here where you can set it to wake up and shut down at certain times of the day every day. But then on top of that, you can also have it set to make a drink right in the morning. So if you want to do one of these beverages here, like a drip or espresso, Americano, you could have it set to automatically do that right when you wake up. I will say that you definitely want to obviously put a drink cup under here, but the nice thing about it is, as long as the machine has been put to sleep beforehand, it knows that it's actually put steam and hot water out right before that night, so it won't do that. So you won't get like old water in your beverage at first, and it will all just immediately start making your beverage. So I really, really like that feature. It's not something that I would say I would do every single day, but I think I could see a lot of people doing it every morning. I mean, who doesn't want to wake up to a drip coffee pre-made for them, ready to go in a cup? I think that's really cool. And then on top of that, there's a lot of other things in this app. I'm not going to go too in depth with this, But it's nice. You can see your power status. You could see your waste bin level. You could see how many, when you have to clean the brew unit and descale and replace the water filter in here. And then you could also, obviously you could do that scheduling like I said before. You could do a brew. So if maybe you're sitting on your couch and you want to make a latte, you can click on that and make one. And then you can edit drinks here. So if you want to change your profiles and change the different types, like let's say you want to make the espresso automatically do multiple shots, you could change that. And then you could also do an espresso profile. Now, I think this is one of the nicest things on this machine. You could actually do that from the screen as well, so I'm going to show that. So I can show you right on here where you can set your espresso profile. And this is a big deal because it's going to let you change the parameters of your basic shot for every single drink, basically, except for the drip coffee. So you could set your dose here. I keep mine pretty high. You could set your temperature. You could set your grind size and all that stuff. So the grind size is nice. And the grinder actually automatically adjusts in here electronically. So that's maybe the first time I've ever seen that happen on a machine. I'm not aware of any other super automatics that do that. Leave it in the comments if you know one. I'd like to know. But yeah, I think that's very, very cool. Pro I could think of here is it is nice that you do have the hot water and steam milk option. They come out of different tubes. I think that's very important. The hot water button, you can make hot water if you want to do tea or something like that. Really great for the tea lovers out there. And then for steamed milk, you could do, steamed milk right into if you want to put that maybe in your tea, or maybe you want some steamed milk for a hot chocolate or something. You have the setting to do almost no air. That way it's just really just heating the milk with a little bit of froth in it. So I think those are really nice things to have, and yeah. Actually, there's one other thing I want to say that I like this machine for, and that is the drip coffee. I know I've briefly mentioned it, but this is the only super automatic that I know that makes a drip style coffee. What it's doing is it'll grind some coffee, and it just slowly puts water through it at a very low pressure. So it's not going to pull it at 12 bars, 9 bars, or whatever. It's going to pull it at like 3 or 4 bars, and it's going to just do it really slowly. So it starts to make a little bit, and then it stops and starts to make a little bit. So it gets sort of a drip effect. I really like that. I know a lot of people that just will drink an Americano, and it's pretty similar. But if you want like a more drip style coffee, I think this is a really cool option, and it's one of the only machines I've seen do something like this. So definitely hats off. All right, time for cons. Not a lot, but there are a few. The one downside I see with this style of design is there is no heater for your cups. Now I will say there is a spot that gets very hot here, right where my hand is, on this right corner if you're looking at the machine. This spot gets very warm and would definitely heat up a cup, which is kind of surprising for a plastic-based machine. A lot of times they don't really get that hot. So if you did want to risk putting a cup, like maybe a couple of espresso cups, 2 or maybe 1, cappuccino cup or something, you could do that. It would be nice if maybe there was something you can magnetically put, like a little tray here or something that would hold those on, and that way if you didn't want it, you can have it as a clean machine, and if you did want it, you could put it there and not have to worry about it. So just an idea, I guess, and it's not the best heating element here because you have heat here but you don't have it here. But again, if you want to put 1 cup, take the risk just to heat it, you definitely could do it on this side. All right, another con, very small, but I don't like that you can't access the brew unit. I like to be able to do that in case there's small repairs that might need to be made, or maybe you just need to rinse it off every once in a while. It can get a little moldy in some of those that I've found. So I would like that to be an option. Now I will say that the machine does have all these smart systems where after you brewed so much, it'll have you do back flushing, and they gave you separate back flushing tablets or powder in the machine, and then they give you descaling. Those are not the same thing. Maybe I'll make a video on cleaning, but it is nice that you can have both those, but I still would like access to the machine itself inside. Another con, maybe for some it wouldn't be a con, but as somebody who just had a newborn baby, sleep is fleeting. So this machine does have an automatic shutoff like most machines do, but it's quite loud because it not only does it do a drip cycle, but it also does a steam cycle, and that's because there's different holes for different things to do here. So it's good to keep it clean, but I will say it's very loud. It would be nice if maybe they can make a setting like a Joe mode or something like that, where it doesn't steam at the end. It only does that when it first turns on or something. I think that'd be really nice. But just an idea. Again, software updates can happen. You never know. You send a request into the Terra Kaffe company, and maybe they can make it happen for you. But I think that's one of the only other cons I could think of, is that the steam is pretty loud when it shuts off. Hey everyone, check out the new channel sponsor. This is MAGTAME. There's magnetic chargers. They make them in Lightning and USB-C. They're super nice because they just quickly coil up like this, and you can kind of set it to however size you want there. So you can just kind of go boom, and it'll stay together without having to make a knot. It's very nice. And then you could just quickly pull it right apart. They're all metal construction, very durable, and they do up to 60 watts, so it can power a laptop. Use the channel link. I have it in the description below, and you'll get 10% off. Thanks. Okay, another con here. Not a big deal, but I'm not a big, and this is free, but I'm not a huge fan of this milk carafe. I don't know. I just don't see myself doing. I don't make a lot of milk-based drinks. Maybe if you did, this would be more useful to you. But what I normally do is I keep this connected up here, and then I leave this tube right there all the time. And sometimes it'll shoot water in there when it does cleaning cycles. And then when I'm ready, I'll just take out milk right here. I'll open it and stick the tube in there, so I don't have to worry about having multiple carafes and multiple things. Now, maybe if you're worried about this being dirty and getting in your milk, understandable. But for me, just having to worry about cleaning this all the time, and having another thing you have to put through your dishwasher, it's just kind of annoying to me. So I'm not a huge fan. Maybe if it was double walled or something like that, where you could leave it out, or if it was like self-cooling or something, be a different story. But it's just hard with milk because it goes bad and it stinks, and I don't know. But just not a huge fan of this one. Okay, because I like this machine so much, I'm going to show multiple drinks. I do a few on different ones, but this I'm actually going to do 3 because I really want to show this drip off, and I want to show a milk-based drink, and then I just love espresso, so I'm going to drink espresso. Right now, my espresso is set at the finest setting, and it pulls about, 1.5 ounces. But I'm going to pull a shot to just show you how easy it is. You hit the espresso button. Also, the grinder is pretty quiet. Yeah, the light's very nice. I didn't mention that in my pros, but another pro is the light is very nice. Now, I actually have this relatively dialed in. It pulls this from the first push of water in there. It pulls in about 20 seconds, which is pretty good for a super automatic. A lot of times it pulls way faster than that, so this is relatively good. Let you get in there. Right now we have nothing crazy in here. We're just using some Lavazza Super Crema, but it's a good for testing out when we get new machines, and it's a nice kind of baseline. Yeah, great shot. All right, let's do I'm going to do the drip because I think the drip is really interesting. So we're going to hit the drip button. Another thing that's pretty cool, at least with the other shots, with the other drinks, is you could actually add an extra shot in there. So there's a thing that'll say add shot, and you can hit it and add an extra shot into any beverage you're making. Now realize if it's set to the drink size, it is going to overfill that drink. All right, so you see it's kind of coming out pretty slow. You hear the pump. It'll just do a little bit of water each time. So very slow flow. It's just doing a little bit of water, and then it'll stop, like now. Give it a little bit, and then it starts to back up. So it goes pretty slow, so we'll cut through. The drip has finished. Now it does have a little bit of froth on top, which is not exactly like a drip coffee, but because it does this slow flow, you get a little bit of a stronger shot, I would say, than your Americano, and it definitely emulates a drip coffee pretty good for a system like a super automatic. Yeah, it's very good. Temperature on the drip is actually really good. Okay, last drink we're gonna make is the latte. I'm gonna show you how I do that. So I put the little tube in there. I'm gonna pop this into my milk here. Let's see if I can get it to go in there. Here we go. And then I'm gonna hit the latte button. Shot of espresso. Here's the add shot button, by the way, where you can add an extra one. Notice that it didn't do like some crazy spraying where it shot milk everywhere, like I mentioned before. And you can adjust this, so if I want this, there we go, a little bit more frothy. There we go. So you can change it around, you can do whatever you need to do. And then at the end there, you can have it clean the milk out of this. So here's your latte, not bad. I was using almond milk, so keep that in mind here, because the almond milk doesn't froth up quite as nice. We got a little bit, but nothing crazy. Pretty good. Now I will say, right now, as it is, this is like a drinkable temperature right out. But if you're somebody who likes it like piping hot, like almost going to burn you, which I know there's people out there, it's not going to be that hot. So maybe you want to preheat your milk, put it in the microwave or something like that. Put a little cup of it in the microwave, or use this. I don't know if it's microwave safe. Look it up. You can throw that in there. You should be good to go. But yeah, I think generally this makes a pretty good latte. Can steam really nice. If you use normal milk, you can really dial this all in to make it the exact way you want it with this dial. But yeah, overall, I think I'm ready to give my score. Now keep in mind that this is a super automatic. My super automatic scores are separate from my semi-automatic scores, one that you have to tamp and all that stuff. The reason being is that a super automatic espresso machine uses a pressurized filter basket, unlike semi-automatic machines, which use non-pressurized filter basket, meaning the espresso is very different at the end of the day. When you taste the espressos, they're going to taste different. That said, for the super automatic category, this is going to score the highest of any machine I've ever tested. I'm going to give this a 9.8. I think it really knocks it out of the park in so many places. As you saw, I had like almost no cons to say about this. It was not a lot. in general, this is a really, really nice machine to use on a daily basis. The upgradability is super nice. There's just so many things to like about the Terra Kaffe that it has to get a high score at 9.8. So thanks for watching. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.